I guess everybody's seen the intro now.
Oh, okay, so just get right into it, huh?
Alright, we're at...
I got 10 minutes.
Right, okay. So I'm Dave, and
yeah, you know us. We're never ready, but that's alright. This is uncut stuff.
Or something like that.
Come on, tell them
so
where we're at.
I'm at...
Pull it up. Where you're at. Well, okay, you keep talking.
Right, well, I just wanted to get to my review real quick. I read the Flash book last month, number, was it 4? Wow, I thought it was on number 5 already. And it's weird, the DC's, I've noticed that, you know, when I read the book today, they actually went for a little more hardcore audience, and they said...
First of all, we're at Alter Ego Comics. And we're at 115 North Elizabeth Street, and you can get your comic books here. Tuesday through Saturday, they're open. Tell your hours.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 5:30. Thursdays, 11 to 7, and Saturdays, 10 to 2.
Alright, back to the on button. Boop.
I didn't know I had a button. But yeah, so like, I'm reading it, you know, I get pretty far into it, the action's okay, the storyline's kind of getting there eventually, I guess, and then they call out the Flash, and the villain calls him a bitch. They said bitch in a DC Comics book. And then I looked on the front,
it's a warning thing,
and the comics code isn't there anymore, and I don't know if I really want to be reading the Flash anymore because they said bitch. I mean, I'm older now and all that, but you know, it's the Flash. He's an iconic figure that everybody should be able to read.
The Flash isn't a bitch. It's that simple.
No, he most certainly is not, because he lays waste to the villain.
Getting back to letting people know, if you're still the type of person that was buying comic books back in the 80s and early 90s, look, things have changed. Comics are more to an adult-oriented audience.
They are more mature.
And we do have, there are children's comics out here, for Spider-Man, X-Men, and whatnot, but you have to come in here and he'll point you to what those are, and he'll point you to what you could be reading. So, yeah, there's Dave's take on the Flash.
Yeah, there it is for the Flash.
From last week, Batman. I'm going to review Batman from 657 is the latest issue. It's third issue in Grant Morrison's run, and Andy Kubert from X-Men fame. From what was the other thing? Origins, Wolverine. You got trade paperback on that? That's one of the best things I read.
Of course.
Paul Jenkins. Okay, anyways, with this, supposedly about 20-something years ago, Batman been sleeping around. So, that's the way
what a bat's gotta do.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if you've seen the movie Batman Begins, if you haven't, go rent that movie. There's a villain named Ra's al Ghul. Am I saying that right? I'll never say it correctly. Okay, cool. I did it right. Ra's al Ghul. Well, he's an assassin, you know. He wants world domination, whatnot, and in the movie also, Batman has a run-in with him and had trained with him. And the comic book is kind of different from it, but, you know, more or less the same. But anyways, he had a daughter who was a crazy, badass chick as well. And Batman ended up going out with her name, Talia or Natalia? Talia. And he went out with her, and supposedly there was a possibility that they could have had a child. Well, 20 years now, here's this book, and they say they did have a child. And this kid's nuts. All I can say is he's trained as an assassin, just like if you've seen the movies, trained with those type of skills, and
ninja skills.
Ninja skills, yeah, ninja skills. And he ends up fighting Robin, which is Tim Drake. What did he just do?
Nothing.
I don't know.
Tim Drake, Robin,
that's the Tim Drake one, and they have a fight, and he kicks his arse. So Batman basically is trying to raise him right and use his ninja skills for the good, and instead he's still being a badass. What is he doing? Oh, that's how much we got left. Okay, I didn't know what he was doing. Speed it up. All right.
Next issue is the last one for the storyline. So
yeah, which is very odd. I didn't know it was it's a 4-part issue, so you probably could pick up most of them here possibly.
Let's hope it makes sense in the 4th one.
Yeah.
Go back and read Batman: Son of the Demon, which is where all the bumping and grinding goes on, and where little baby Batman comes from. So it's a great read. It came out 15, 20 years ago, and Morrison's going back and mining that. So they just reissued it. It was out of print for a long time. They just reissued it in comic form instead of, it was kind of an oversized soft cover when it first came out. But we have copies here. Anyway, my review this week, 3 new #1 issues that came out. We will start with Doctor Strange, The Oath, written by Brian K. Vaughan, who writes Runaways and Why the Last Man and Ex Machina and a whole bunch of good stuff. Doctor Strange miniseries. It starts out with Doctor Strange being brought into an emergency room with his trusty manservant Wong carrying him in, and basically we find out that Wong is dying. Wong has a disease, and Doctor Strange is going the extra mile to try and save his friend, going back to the Hippocratic Oath that doctors take, and going actually into another realm to get this cure for what ails Wong. And there are some bad guys behind the scenes. We don't really know everything that's going on since it's the first issue, but it's a very good read. I'd give it a solid B. Hopefully, that comes up as the series goes on. There's a very funny exchange between Arana and Iron Fist in the first couple of panels, which is cool. And there's a very funny scene with Wong and Doctor Strange walking the streets together, which looks a little suspicious.
You have like a character Wong.
Anyway, next up is The Irredeemable Ant-Man by Robert Kirkman, who is basically writes everything at Image Comics right now. Invincible, Walking Dead, two of the best sellers over there. Wrote Marvel Zombies and Marvel Team Up, and is just writing a lot of stuff for Marvel. Great writer, big fan. Phil Hester does the artwork, and his inking buddy Andy Parks is on board. Basically involves a group of S.H.I.E.L.D. flunkies that are on the helicarrier. Chris and Eric, who are buddies, they're basically on the surveillance or the security or surveillance group, and they just monitor monitors all day. They're kind of screw-ups, especially Eric. Hank Pym is on the helicarrier, developing some new Ant-Man technology for S.H.I.E.L.D., and somehow these two bumbling losers end up with the Ant-Man suit.
Man, you're harsh.
And some interesting stuff happens. Well, it's called the world's most unlikable superhero, and by the end of the first issue, you don't like the guy who's wearing the Ant-Man costume. So, kind of an interesting take, interesting character in the Marvel Universe. Definitely worth picking up. Again, a solid B on this one. And then finally, from Marvel's Icon imprint, which is its creator-owned imprint.
That still exists.
Yeah, it's occasionally there. Criminal by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Ed Brubaker, of course, writing Daredevil and Captain America right now, as well as Uncanny X-Men. So writing 3 solid Marvel titles, doing a great job. Criminal is definitely, it's a mature book. It does have some 4-letter words, so Dave probably won't like it. And it's not a superhero book, not a capes and tights. It's a cops and robbers book. If I had to compare it to something, I definitely got a feel of kind of like a Heat from the movie Heat that Michael Mann did with De Niro and Pacino. This definitely has a feel to that. You follow a character called Leo, who is a criminal, and you're following him basically over the course of 5 years of his life. He is, we're talking about lovable losers in the Ant-Man book. This guy is a down-on-his-luck loser big time. But still, the character's interesting. All the characters in the book are interesting. You've got cops that may or may not be bad cops. You've got criminals, hence the name of the book, Criminal. And kind of curious to see where this goes. Apparently Brubaker and Phillips have been working on this for quite a while, and it's finally seeing the light of day. So definitely check it out. Again, a solid B. It's a B week for the 3 new #1 issues. Would recommend picking them all up. Something for everybody, and hopefully they'll continue to do well. That's my 2 cents.
Can I have them?
You got a minute. You got a minute and 20 seconds.
Okay,
read fast.
Other #1s that, the only one #1 that wasn't mentioned was, I don't know if you read it, a Giant Size Wolverine #1 came out.
I haven't read it yet.
Okay, we haven't read it either.
Looks good though.
X-Men Phoenix War Song #1. Who's writing that? Do you remember?
Greg Pak, who wrote Phoenix End Song.
Tyler Kirkham's drawing it. So, well, okay, he's shaking his head. Get it for the art, because Tyler Kirkham, he rocks. He did The Gift, and he did a lot of Top Cow stuff.
Correct.
Yes, okay. New gaming items in this week. I want to say what, because I don't know what.
No, the new Magic set comes out tomorrow. The new Magic the Gathering card set comes out tomorrow. We've got the Star Wars Bounty Hunter minis that just came out. And what else just came out?
Dungeons & Dragons miniatures.
Yeah, we've got some of those.
Not James, but, okay, whatever.
We're going to wrap it up. I think we're going to wrap. We're getting the high sign from the director here. So we'll be back next week with a whole bunch of behind-the-counter goodness.